Hello, I am Henry Nutt III, author of 7 Principles, Creating Your Success in the Construction Industry. You can find this book on Amazon. You can find it on my website at hgn3partners.com. You can find me on social media on LinkedIn under my name, Henry Nutt. Also on Instagram, Henry Nutt III with the number 3. And if you want to connect with me, please do so. And you can also find me on my YouTube page, 7 Principles. So I am reading today from my chapter called Stop Being a Victim. And it's really for me, one of the most important chapters because I think we all have a story. We all have a reason why we can quit or give up or feel like we're just not going to make it. And they're legitimate reasons. There are things that have gotten in our way. There are things that happen in our lives that forced us to do certain things, maybe things we didn't want to do, things we didn't have any control over, yet we've become that victim. And sometimes we carry the weight of that for the rest of our lives. So when I say stop being a victim, it's not without empathy and concern or even consideration of what you're facing today or what you have faced. But what I do know is it will absolutely hinder you. So I want to read about a page from my book that talks about how to stop being a victim and some of the nuances and some of the issues that impact us in our journeys. And so again, this is a book of about 86 pages. You can find me on social media, Henry Nutt III, LinkedIn, YouTube, 7 Principles. You can find my book on Amazon. But let's dig into this chapter. I think it's really important. So it says, I once lived in a victim mentality mode. I was typically the youngest person on my crew, as well as a person of color. I felt intimidated by everyone else's years of experience and seemingly ease of problem solving in our day-to-day tasks. I often took a back seat when it came to giving an opinion or addressing a work plan. I felt inadequate within myself. No one ever had to scorn me because I carried the burden on my own like a tool belt. It was exhausting, debilitating, and prevented me from experiencing any kind of success. It is what ultimately made it easier for me to leave the trade. After all, since I spent more time thinking I would not be successful in this industry, why keep trying? That was my mentality. That was me being a victim of my own set of beliefs and circumstances. Somewhere along my journey, I learned that I had to first believe in myself. Why would anyone else if I could not? I realized that the baggage of being a victim could not coexist with a successful mindset. One had to die. I chose success. As I speak to potential hires in the programs I work with, I hear many stories about why achievement may not be possible. But I dare those same individuals to think about why they can achieve. So, you came from a broken home. You are an immigrant, a woman, new to the industry, still learning the English language, or never witnessed true success in your own family or even in your own community. Yet perhaps you are the one to start a new path and set the tone for those who are watching you. Maybe you are the one to create something new. So think about that. With being a victim, we have many reasons to excuse our behavior or to continue the behavior that is challenging us or preventing us from achieving anything. We may have seen all those types of things happen in our lives in our childhood. We may have never seen anyone essentially promote themselves, graduate, achieve any kind of success in their own personal lives. And if we're surrounded around people that's all we know, and you go down a path for X amount of time, and at some point you're getting off the off-ramp like it's what you're supposed to do. And so I can say that I found myself there. And this industry is very hard. It can be very treacherous. It can be very daunting. You can be in rooms where you don't see yourself and be very intimidated. I worked around a bunch of men that were older than me, primarily white males. And not that they were all bad or anything. It's just that I didn't fit the group. And so it's really important to know who you are. But how do we get there? How do we finally get to a point in our lives where we begin to not just declare it with our words, but to actualize it in our actions? to become that person that decides to overcome, to persevere, to not give in, to not quit, to not stop because it gets really hard. It's not easy. And I'm not going to give you a path to say, just do these 5 things. I'm not going to tell you that, because it's not that. It's really you learning to believe in yourself and not quitting, because what you want to accomplish is bigger than yourself. And you understand that. And you're willing to do whatever is necessary that is good to get there. And so I remember as a young apprentice, there was jokes about I was a kid. I literally was a kid. I was 18, 19 years old when I started in this industry, and worked around a bunch of seasoned men that had done this for years, decades. And so it's very intimidating to be around those people many times when I didn't feel like I knew anything. And even though I learned some tricks from my dad, who taught me work ethic and just being around him, and then other people in my family that promoted those kind of concepts, but it still was intimidating, going to work every day and not really knowing where you fit, not knowing really how to function and operate and navigate through whatever task. Sometimes it was just hard enough just to get to work. But I did that every day. And so the one thing that I had to realize is that having a victim mentality, even though I had things that may have happened to me, even though I may have been the only black guy in the whole job site, at least on my crew, I couldn't let that be what excused me or allowed me to get off the road towards my journey. And was it easy? No. Did people make it easy for me? Absolutely not. I had to persevere, but it was me. At some point in my own walk, I had to come to that conclusion that I wanted to achieve what I thought was success for myself. And that was just one step of it. And every step of my journey, I've had to talk to myself and get off the ledge of wondering, am I in the right place? I had to face that imposter syndrome of thinking, am I smart enough? Do I belong here? It's one thing to have others coming at you, doubting you. And it's another thing when you don't need them, you can do it by yourself. And that's really the greatest thing to overcome is really the self-doubt. The naysayers and the people around you, you can kind of expect that. But when you wake up in the morning and you don't believe in yourself, it's easy just to go on automatic pilot of doubt for the rest of the day. And no one has to say a word to you. Or it doesn't take much effort to get you discouraged, to get you to stop focusing on what you had committed yourself to doing. It's easy to get yourself off track on what you one day believed in, and then suddenly that belief has changed to turn into doubt because of circumstances, because maybe it didn't go the way you wanted to go, or you had a really bad day, or a team of people or scenario that occurred in your Tuesday or Friday that just fell on a place in your life where it felt like the straw that just kind of broke everything. We all can get there. We all have had those experiences when things get tough. But what I want to encourage you today and every day is refuse to be a victim. Sure, you can think about everything in your life, as I mentioned, about our families, our communities, lack of guidance, someone that didn't give us a great example, or someone that gave us the worst example that we inherited and we embraced it without even knowing, and it became a part of us until one day the light came on for you. So what? No one ever graduated from high school in your family. So what? No one ever held a job that accomplished anything or legally had a job in ways of making money. So what? There was brokenness in your home. All these things are real. And when I say so what, I'm not saying it without care. I'm saying it becomes our crutch. Let your path and your mission towards to get to that path be what encourages you and motivates you every day, so that you're not discouraged when things come against you. You get up and you fight and you keep pressing. And those aren't just magical words that you just, okay, I'm going to say this and it's going to happen. It's perseverance. It's endurance. It's every day. It's like resistance that's against you. But you're choosing to stay on the path. You're choosing to win. You're choosing to overcome. And again, these are words, but they must become the words that motivate, that give you visual pictures in your head about what it looks like for me to be the first in my family, the first in my community, to achieve something that I really put my mind to. And when you begin to do that and set yourself on that path, you're going to get people that rally around that. You're going to get people that come alongside of you and support you. You're going to have miraculous things that can happen to give you assistance. I remember 2 different men at 2 different times when I was at the lowest point and ready to walk away from my trade. They came at different times in my life and just said something that just encouraged me and it just motivated me to keep going. But I did leave the trade for a while. Not out of anger, but I think I was more discouraged with what was happening and not working, and I'll share about that in another story, another time. But the one thing that changed me was me. It was realizing that I can do this. I can be successful in this industry. And many times in my space, I've been the first person that looks like me in a space, in a leadership capacity, leading others, giving direction, making decisions for teams, large crews, multi-million-dollar projects, lots of deadlines, all the things, all the pressures that come along with being a superintendent or some type of leader. I had to do that. There's no way I could have done that if I had not at one point in my life recognized that, 1, I can, and 2, I can learn what I don't know. And 3, others will come and support. Because at the end of the day, this business is about making money. This business is about meeting deadlines. This business is about folks collaborating and working together to accomplish a task, a goal, a mission, a vision of an owner that has this building that they want to construct that's going to impact the world or society or a community in a very specific way. And you're a part of that team to make it happen. And you need to know where you fit in that team and what you contribute and know that it brings value. And so you got to spend some time building up yourself. If you've been a person that has been subject to lots of tragedy in your life and circumstances that can be very daunting and intimidating or just discouraging, then I would encourage you to do some work, internal work for yourself, figuring out how you're going to break that negative cycle in your life. As I mentioned in one of my other video posts about surrounding yourself with people smarter than you, getting used to reading books, listening to apps that are encouraging, that give you instruction and direction and support and guidance and challenges you to become a better version of yourself. That's work. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen just because you say you want it to happen either. It happens because you choose to do something different than what you've done before. And so refuse to be a victim. Refuse to stay stuck in a scenario that you know you want something more, you know you want something better, and you know you deserve it. Not because you're a great person and so good. It doesn't matter. It may help. But it's not, oh, you're good, so this should happen to you. It's about what you believe. It's about what you choose. And then it's about you acting on what you believe. So if you believe you deserve something better, if you believe that you can be the first to achieve a goal that you've never seen happen in your surroundings, and you dare yourself to believe in that way, then expect it. But do the work that's required. And the work is where you might need some help. Doing the work is where you might need some guidance. Doing the work might be, how do I start day 1 doing this? How do I not become discouraged day 4, day 24? How do I stay focused? What happens when I fall? What do I do then, right? Because we all fall. We all get off the track and screw up royally at times. But if you believe in yourself and you don't listen to naysayers and those who doubt you or those who say, I told you so, you will get back up. And you'll be a better version of yourself because of what happened, because you've learned some lessons. And you'll have some war wounds or some scars, maybe even emotionally, that remind you of that work and that effort. But someone is waiting on you on the other side of this. Not in the sense like it's your child waiting for you to see you be successful necessarily, but someone that is just out there doing the same thing as you. And one day you cross paths and you have a story that is so rich that you can share. And maybe you'll write a book, but you can tell them a story about something that happened to you and how you overcame because you chose to stop being a victim. So that's all I want to say today is refuse to be a victim. Recognize your responsibility. Recognize your actions and not being that victim any longer and what you can do to overcome. So check out this video. Please share it. Please like it on YouTube. Don't forget about my book, 7 Principles Creating Your Success in the Construction Industry. It is your success. And we absolutely need everyone who chooses this industry to be successful. And that success can look like different things for different people. But the bottom line is we want you to join this industry and we want you to stay. We want you to achieve and to grow and to prosper, to bring value and to show others why it's a great industry to be a part of. Make it a great day.